We had a real mixed bag today. A couple of seafood items. We're working the seafood now because I know how many of us, including me, were on a seafood and eat it diet prior to the holidays. Although this one of them has a cream sauce on, so I guess that's not going to help out too much.
That's not too bad.
So how you been doing, January?
Very good, very good. I was just commenting about that. Is it beef stock?
Veal.
Veal.
Reduction. Fond de veau.
Fond de veau.
Yeah, it's a base to a lot of our dishes. And you know, whether you can use it in beef and veal and pork and shrimp. No. But it's good. It's a really nice demi-glace. It gives a lot of great background and depth to a few dishes. I should throw these clams in the oven. I wanted to show you these clams. Stuffed clams, I don't know about you, but I'm awkward about, unless you know what's going on or had them or tried somebody, you can be really afraid to order them. But we make kind of a stuffed clam that's got clams casino type ingredients in it.
Oh, that's great.
We used to do a casino, and I don't want the real little acorns. I mean, I don't want gigantic cherry stone clams in here, something that if it caught your leg in the ocean.
Swallow.
That whole thing,
They're too big.
Right, and I was really into just serving the whole clam, but what ends up happening then is, it's a lot of food going into your mouth at one time. So we did start chopping them up a little bit. We chop them up. We do add a few of our chopped clams that we put in our clam sauce. Some hunks of bacon that we pre-cook, bake it up, get it nice and crunchy, some pimento, things of that nature. And there's a little celery and onion base that we use in our clam sauce. So, and it's it's not a real sandy breadcrumb either. It's a Ritz cracker base, and it really gives it a different flavor without overwhelming it. And it as you can see, it's very fluffy. So I just love these. I just wanted to chuck them in the oven and see what they're like. We'll have a little snack before lunch.
Kind of a nice little appetizer. Actually, when it's cooked like that, though, I don't think people have I think it's the raw fish, the raw clams that are really kind of a concern. I think something like that is not.
Yeah, but the problem is that, there's a tendency sometimes to make 9 million clams at one time.
That's true.
There's a tendency not to make your own, and there's also they can get very dry and crusty very quickly if you're not very careful with them. And one of the tricks is just, running out of them if you have to. Not getting over-prepared ruins many a good dish, So what are we going to do here? We're going to torch up some creme brulee in a little while.
My favorite, one of my favorites. You definitely have to do that.
I have a neat little hors d'oeuvre I was going to whip up here. We're making this fond de veau. This isn't exactly your, scallops with oregano on it, you know what I mean? We go in a couple different directions here. We do the Northern Italian, Southern Italian, a little French thrown in. We're going to do this hors d'oeuvre here. This isn't exactly, we are going to put a little bruschetta, but there's going to be some shrimp cocktail and some sliced steak. We just mix it up a little bit and, go in a few different directions. So let's give that a shot. I cooked off a little of our strip steak here. And as you can see, it's like carpaccio for crying out loud.
Sure.
But we're going to put them on a couple of croutons here. I got some shrimp here that we cooked off. I'll add them in a second or two. I'll take one cut of beef off here to get it started. I'm just going to take a couple nice little slices like that. Then we'll add them. I got a few homemade croutons. We've done them before on the show, I think, right?
And this is sliced very thinly, I see.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I like the way I like to stack it on there a little bit. You could have this all these items you could have by themselves, but I was going to put them on, in combination, just a little combination appetizer here.
Oh, great.
See how this fits on the plate. Alrighty, put some of the beef on the toast here. We'll go with a couple of those. Like that. I love this sort of thing, just a little snack. Something like this goes real well with a couple clear ones. I've got a little dill horseradish mayonnaise that we made here.
Wow.
That's nifty neat to go on there. It gives it a nice little accent, I've got some tomato bruschetta. This isn't ricotta cheese, ricotta cheese. Going to add that onto this little homemade crouton. This isn't your standard bruschetta. This is a miniaturized version of it. More times you see this done a little larger and a little more bread and stuff
very
like
much
that.
larger.
Yeah, right.
You can see those thick chunks of
Right.
tomato.
This is just another way of doing it. Of course, I've got to be different, right? Got a couple pieces of shrimp that we parboiled. And I got to get the cocktail sauce on there somehow or other. Let's see, I'm going to float a little leaf in there, a little romaine leaf. And I've got some smoking cocktail sauce here.
Ooh.
This stuff is, this horseradish here, that'll clear up your cold in a hurry. We'll add that to the center.
Oh, you've got to have hot horseradish.
I know, but a lot of times you don't have it that
I
way.
know, it's hard to really get it hot.
I know. Let me exchange one of these for one of these, maybe alternate it a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a, a neat little way to start your meal. Put the parsley all over the plate like that. I don't know what the heck to call this thing, but it's just a combination appetizer featuring a little tomato bruschetta, shrimp cocktail, and sliced steak with a little dill horseradish mayo. I love this sort of thing.
So we're going to do the sole dish.
Si, signora.
Si, senora.
You know, a real pile of seafood here.
Okay, well, we're doing French and now we're doing Spanish, right?
Yeah, right. Actually, this is a little Nouvelle/Frenchy also.
Oh, really?
This is one of these seafood dishes that, no, I'm dieting. I'll just have a little fish fillet. By the time you get done with this, you would have thought you had.
But wait, before we get into that, do we have
yeah,
to
the
take
clammies.
the clams out of
Little
these?
clammies.
Yeah, clammies. Ooh,
Uh-oh.
let's see. I hope we're doing all right with those.
Yes.
Oh, great.
We're good.
See, you need me in the kitchen, Dan.
I know, but isn't that bubbling
Oh,
up there nice? Like I
wow.
said, it's got a lot of
What a
similar ingredients to a clams casino. And our filling is a little puffy, ow,
those are hot.
ow. Yeah, these things are sizzling. They brown up nice.
It's a beautiful golden color. Wow,
Right.
love it.
Let's try a little parsley around again. Guess you can't tell that I like to use parsley.
Oh no, not much.
No, not much, a little bit. Yeah, we'll throw that in the center.
Okay, now we're working on the sauce.
See,
The beurre blanc?
Yes.
Can we call it that?
another Frenchy one. That's a
Yeah.
vin blanc.
Oh, it's
This
a
has a
vin
little
blanc.
champagne and shallot base to this.
Oh,
It's a little
okay.
champagne sauce. We're going to do a little filet of sole and going to garnish it with a few room temperature vegetables.
It's so smooth.
Yeah,
Love
softy
that.
wafty. So we're normally I added this. I'm going to cook it in brown butter for the salmon and thicker type of fillets. I didn't get the oil that hot before I put the butter in, but this sole is going to cook rather quickly, and so I'm going to, to get the color that I want and the effect, we're going to get this kind of hot. And don't be alarmed if you see the butter is burning, because that's just imparts a crazy, really neat flavor. Nifty neat. I might have even waited a little longer. I want this pan hot, for the dish. So as you can see, this isn't the low-cal, low cholesterol. This is called a fun one.
A fun one. Oh, that means this dish is a tasty dish.
Yeah, that means it's good.
Yeah.
The sauce I've already heated. I like it to lose its temperature a little bit, not boiling hot. It'll be hot, the plate will be hot too. Yeah, this can be a nice thing if you can cook it properly.
Wow. That was quick.
Smells great. Yeah,
It does.
it's a good dish. Yeah, Janet Gray are gonna have a fun lunch
Oh,
today.
it's gonna be good.
Maybe a little bottle of Chardonnay and really in there. They might have their Valentine's Day early after this one. And that should be enough right there. Put them down on our little board. Whoa! Get some of that oil off of there. And now we shall plate it up. I guess I should get a piece of, no, that's okay.
Oh, lost thought. That was a lost
It was a lost thought by Dan, right?
There you go.
All right, I'm going to put a little sauce on the bottom.
On the bottom. Mmm.
Get a little pond there. One little fillet and two little fillets. I'm going to add a little sauce to the top of this.
Oh, that really looks luxurious.
Very nice
Beautiful.
sauce. It takes many days to make this nice. All right, I got a few, I part cooked these carrots. They're julienne, they're very thin. They're not part of the dish. I wanted to garnish it, so we've got to be careful to get this to room temperature. You know, you don't want them cold either. What else do we have? I've got a few mushrooms. You know, I'm trying to get a few petite type of mushrooms here. A little primavera effect for the dish. You know, I don't want to overwhelm it with a pile of vegetables here. The sauce and the soul of the star, in my opinion, anyway. Then I got a few baby peas.
Interesting.
See this? You had seafood, vegetables. Never mind the butter and cream, right?
Oh, there's not that much in there.
Yeah, a little bit here.
A little bit.
I think we're going to bring the color together with some of this paprika blend we have.
Nice.
You know, bring that together like that. Make it jump a little. We don't have a name for it yet. Not sure what. Maybe I'll name it after my cat. No, I don't know. We'll have to work. We'll have to work on the name.
We'll have to work on that. Well, before we get on to our next dish, we took a little reprieve here. We were talking about golf. I don't know whether to ask you about your last golf game in Florida or whether to ask you about the next one that you're planning.
Oh, I don't know. I could be out in the, I don't think I'm going. I don't think there's going to be a next one.
Oh, no?
No, I think,
Uh-oh. You grounded?
I think I'm going to be grounded.
Uh-oh.
Not that I was bad, but, you know.
No, you weren't bad.
You know, we went through a little green down there, a little cake. Spent a little cake. I think that's my last little shot out of town for a while. Got the ball and chain on now. Forget it. I can't blame her either. You know, what the heck. Had a good time, though. Played a lot of golf down there.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the weather, how was the weather?
Weather was terrific. Got to about 75, 76 every day, and
Wow.
it was only a one-club wind the entire time. You know, it wasn't like a gale force was blowing. But we did start at 48 in the morning, but it got to 60 really quickly, which is great, you know. Had a good crew down there. We supposedly had a situation where we were going to have the same two guys play the same two guys. This is our opponents, you know. We were going to play for the same stakes the entire time down there. And what else? And the strokes, where the shots, everybody gets handicapped. That was going to remain the same for the entire time we were down there, you know.
Doesn't sound like it.
Long story short, my partner was on fire, and these guys, are you allowed to say clapping on TV here? You could just bleep out the first word, leave the effect in there. But yeah, they took it on the chin. After 2 rounds, they were on their hands and knees begging, imploring for an adjustment all the way around the board. I'll tell you, if I could have had a camera on these two. We need more shots. We need more.
Oh, no.
Either way, they pecked us a little bit, but it was a good time, real good time.
Listen, at least you missed the cold snap.
Yeah.
Cold snap down there recently.
Yeah, we dodged it. It was great. The weather was terrific. It wasn't great if you're going to lay on the beach and roast yourself, but if you're going around Disney World or playing golf, it was just terrific. All right.
Okay.
Got a little seafood combination here, I guess. Yeah, we got some scallops and shrimp and clams and mussels. The key to the dish here is that we shuck the clams open. So we're not going to cook the dish. You know, you can conceivably, this is one of these dishes, you got to watch doing it at home, you know, for the amount of money you spend and that sort of thing. But, and I've seen this butchered out also, where in trying to time everything to come off properly, the clams would take the longest. But by having them shucked open, it's going to take no time at all to get it together. Now the only thing we have to really worry about is this piece of squid, this tube of squid that we're going to put in there. So we're going to start it with just some marinara sauce. I'm going to make it hot, a little zippy, I think.
Oh, good.
We've got some I take some crushed pepper seeds, and we don't make it into a cayenne pepper, but we, just grind it up a little bit. That it helps move it around in the dish.
Okay. It's going to be a little bit of a hot dish.
A little hotsy-totsy.
That's okay. Save the hotsy-totsy for the end.
I've already taken our linguine and put it into some boiling water. And as you can see, Janet, I've got it hanging here. Steam's still coming off it. It's very hot, but notice now it's still loose and there's not a ton of water dripping off it. I just don't like this all,
watery.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No.
Some people like these dishes more and more brothy. That's enough, I guess. It's going to be pretty hot even with that. This is pretty good pepper, I think. I'll add a little bit of parsley in, and then maybe a little bit on at the end, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to get this to a rolling boil. There we go. Open sesame. May have a little too much sauce here. Now the sauce is kind of thick here, but I'm anticipating some of this seafood to give up its moisture and then flavor the dish.
Okay.
It's much in the same way that vin blanc is a neutral sauce. So is this demi-glace. We've gone over this. This isn't a meat sauce. It's a neutral marinara sauce. So if we put some meat in it, it becomes a meat sauce of sorts. Not your standard, grandma cooking at home meat sauce, but we're going to add some seafood to it, and it's going to become a seafood sauce. That's a really good thing. That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
All right. So we got to, I'll let that get the temperature.
Let that reduce?
Yeah, I like to get that very, very hot, and then we'll start messing around with the flame and the lid in an attempt. If you can really let the heat pass through this stuff gently, it can really kick it up a notch, if you would. It gets really, really good. It's so easy to make this stuff very tough, and we're going to make sure we don't do that.
Now, talking about flame.
Yeah, right.
We looking at that creme brulee.
Right, yeah, when we get done with this, we've been making some creme brulee.
That's
Put
super.
a little crock there. How do we work this doggone thing?
Oh, no.
Yeah, oh, we're on already.
Get
Yeah, we got to. We can cook the seafood right here, I think. Yeah, we're gonna add
angry.
we're gonna add a little sugar to the top of that. We'll whip a little creme brulee if we still have some time.
Okay.
But I think it's such an exotic dessert, especially if you can get that little crust of sugar on the top. You have to be very careful with that. So I am going to get this rolling. Remember we did on our last show, we did a little marinara sauce and we strained all that garlic out of there?
Right.
Take a sniff if you can. I think you can see the garlic is coming right at you.
Wow.
So the garlic is in the oil that we skimmed off, and it clung to the tomatoes. So without, if you want a lot of dishes, I like chunks of garlic in also. Especially with some vegetables or a pasta dish where you're going to get the crunchiness of the garlic, like that lightly browned, and serve it immediately where it crunches. But sometimes you don't like big pieces floating around in there. I don't feel like it's that necessary. All right, so what I'm going to do here is turn the flame down.
Okay.
To about halfway. And I guess what I'm going to add are the shrimp and the scallops.
They will take the longest to cook.
Right,
Okay.
but the main thing is getting the doggone clams under control, So we're going to put this lid on and let them poach along, and I guess I'll get this piece of squid in position.
Okay.
I don't go for the colossal squid. It doesn't have any tentacles or whatnot, but I don't like the little Twinkoramas. Twinkorama, that's Dan's language for
Twinkorama. What is that?
For very petite and small.
Okay.
Twinkorama.
Twinkorama.
File that one, right?
We'll have to remember that one.
How are they doing here? See the shrimp? They're not quite there, but they're coming along.
They're coming along.
Baby caking these guys along here. It's just not a rapid boil.
Right.
Which means a lot. Our pasta is still pretty hot, I guess. Got our little plate ready to go here. And I guess I'm going to turn these over. And I'm going to add in our clams, our mussels. This is that New Zealand variety of mussel. I like them.
Now, is it just aesthetically more pleasing to keep you know, the clams in the shell? I mean, does it add a little flavor? Does it?
I don't think in this quick of a process that it's going to, you know, the only flavor is going to come out of the juice of the clams, you know.
Okay.
And, you know, they're all going to get married up, and you get hopefully a good basic seafood flavor in there. All right, we're ready to go, right?
Yep.
All right, we got a little pasta here. This sat here a little longer than I normally have it, but it's still steaming.
Yeah, you've got a lot of steam
here,
coming off that.
Figure out how we're going to get this seafood on here. Shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Okay.
That looks kind of balanced, I'd say. You can see everything. The squid's turning white there. Boy, you can lose that squid in 2 seconds flat. I'll take a few clams out here. The clams probably could have used another second or so. Try to put those first, put them around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Take a mussel or two and do the same thing. Maybe we'll put them in between the clams, huh?
Okay.
Where'd the other mussel go?
No other mussel.
I thought we had one. Oh, here he is. He's hiding at the bottom.
Oh, really? Oh.
Little rascal, huh?
He was hiding out.
He was hiding out on me. I don't like that. All right, we'll try a couple of shrimp here, I guess. Put the scallops in between the shrimp, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going to put the squiddies? Maybe in all the open areas, huh?
Open areas. There you go.
There's one in the center. More calamari
There
there.
you go. Great. Yeah.
There we go. And this sauce is a hair thicker than normal. Maybe I'll add a little clam broth or something to it the next time. All right, get a little of our fiery red sauce on here. Starting to make this more and more and more. It's a good dish. Well, we are going to need all the sauce, huh?
Looks like it. Yeah, absolutely. Great.
A little thick on the sauce, but you get the picture. I'm going to add some parsley as usual. I love parsley. Doesn't affect the flavor that much. And there we are. A little seafood combination over linguine.
Okay, now for my favorite part, but I'm going to stand back.
Right. I've got these little sugar packets, believe it or not, we were using to, it helps you distribute the sugar pretty evenly, right? And there's different kinds of sugar you can use. Brown sugar, you can use your broiler at home.
Uh-huh.
You know, you can do anything you want, but we go with the torch. And that's a little trick on the Discovery Channel. This one, you know, great chefs of the world, we were having trouble putting a significant amount of sugar on without burning it, but you know, silly as it sounds, he did it 2 times. So he merely got the sugar going to begin with, you know. You know, you want to brown it, but there's a big difference between brown and burned, as you well know. So we're going to melt this up and just get it before it starts caramelizing, and you see it's just starting to do it a little bit there.
Yes.
Then I'm going to take another, and I love these packets, though. It's great for the aim, you know. You can...
So it really goes on in 2 very light layers.
Well,
then.
yeah, depending on, you know, how you like to handle this. This is the way we've been doing it, but, you know, I'd like to get it where it's got that little thin ice, that little hot crunch on the top,
Yes.
you know. I think that's really nifty neat. Yeah, I've had a couple of torches that just weren't doing the job. I had to hit the old plumbing supply for this one.
And now I would not recommend the folks try this at home.
You can do it in your broiler, but then again, making the custard can be a real project, you know? So we're going to take this away. You can hear that sizzling, you know.
That sizzling.
And as it cools, it's going to form that little crunch on top.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining Dan and I at the table this evening, folks. Wow, we cooked a lot, didn't we?
I'd say so.
Wow.
There we had our
Okay.
2 hors d'oeuvres. We had that little bruschetta steak and shrimp combination appetizer. We stuffed a few of those clams up. I just had to get them in front of our viewers. I'm in love with them. Casino style, they're really nice. We did our sole sauteed in the brown butter with that champagne-based cream sauce with the vegetable garnish, and our seafood fra diavolo with a little linguine. I guess then we don't leave out that little creme brulee we have over there.
Don't leave that out. I
Sugar
think we'll
crust.
start with that first.
Yeah.
So thank you, folks, for joining us on Cooking with Dan Lizzie. We'll see you again next week.